Those will be fun.
Yeah, I'm excited. I'm really excited. It'll be really fun. It's so cool that we're doing this. It's so cool that like we're just doing all of this. Like, look at what we're doing, Lani. Like
Becca, she's here. She's here.
She's so punctual.
She's so punctual. Okay, are you ready?
Right. Yeah, let's do it.
Let's do it. Rip the Band-Aid. Hello.
Hi.
Hi. Hello.
Hi.
Hi.
We're great.
So,
How are you?
So good.
My daughter's in the corner because she's the biggest Olsen fan.
Oh, really?
Love Olsen Twins. Yes, she's seen Passport to Paris like 150 times. She's like, oh my God, mommy.
Oh my God, that's so fun.
That's amazing.
Winning London. Okay. She's like a huge fan.
Yeah.
Okay, so we can see the reflection there. That's kind of ugly, but okay, maybe we can.
Oh, it's okay. It's just audio. So yeah.
Oh, really? Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I got all dressed up.
We'll use the video.
We will. Yeah, we do use it sometimes, but it's mostly going to be audio.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, gorgeous.
Yay. So yay. So
yes.
That was so, you know what? It's so funny because now I'm doing a show that I'm trying to sell in America all around the world. So, and I produced it with an Italian company, and I'm doing like different things, and I host it, but it's different things. But it's amazing when you do a movie in America, it's shown all around the world. It's incredible.
Right. That's got to be so crazy.
It's another ballroom.
Thank you so much for doing this. First of all, like it is such an honor to speak with you and to meet you.
Yeah, we're so excited.
Mm-hmm. I'm so excited to speak with you girls, and I think it's so incredible that I'm in Italy, you're in New York, and you're in LA. It's incredible. I mean, technology is amazing. And you wrote to me on Instagram.
Yeah.
And so I think this is so, that's the best. I mean, internet has good things and bad things. And one of the best things that there's no barriers, that you can arrive. If you want to write to anyone, you can write to them directly. Hopefully not like being a hater, but you know, like writing nice things. But I think it's so cool. It really gives you, there's no more those 7 degrees of separation. You just can go straight, and it makes you can do so many things. You know, you can create, on all the creative side, it's so incredible. I mean, you can reach out to somebody in India. It's incredible. I think it's genius.
Oh my God. You can't even imagine like the fact that we are putting this podcast together and trying to find people, and the fact that I was able to reach out to you and you answered, and you were someone that we grew up with, like watching in Passport to Paris. Like it's completely surreal and truly magical.
Yeah.
I was
really
so nervous when I did that film because I had just finished filming a film for Gaumont in the lead role with a French actor that I speak French because my name is Yvonne. So I'm Italian, American, French, Irish. I'm like a total mixing pot of everything. And I had just finished shooting in Paris, and I went back to LA and I auditioned for this, and I said, oh my God, this would be amazing. So I remember exactly when I drove my car and to Beverly Hills, and I went to do the audition, and I was like really nervous. And you know, well, when you audition, you're like in 40, then you're like in 20, then you're like in 10, then you're like in 6, then you're like
they keep
in
narrowing
3.
it down. Yeah.
And so it keeps on going. It's like a process. And I remember when I got it, I was like, I can't believe it. That was amazing. So when we arrived there, it was so surreal because I had just lived in Belgium and in Paris shooting a very French movie, like a really French movie, like très, très français, with all these French actors that were convinced that I was French. I was like, man, I'm not French, but I'm like, okay, I'll fake it. So that, and I was so happy. And actually, they were so nice. They were lovely. And I didn't realize, being older slightly, I didn't realize how famous they were.
Yeah.
I had no idea.
I wanted to ask you about that.
So
yeah.
I didn't know. And then I remember being Italian in LA, I have designers who dress me. So luckily. So I had I remember specifically, I had these really cool shades that I got at the 99-cent store. And I thought I was really cool. And I had these girls and she's like, oh, I like your glasses. I'm like, I didn't want to say it was like 99-cent store. And then she's like, oh my God, is this a Missoni top? They were very into fashion.
Yeah.
And I was like, I was really impressed. I was like, wow, at your young age, I thought
Yeah.
you're into fashion.
Yeah.
And she was really into fashion. This was way before she started doing her fashion.
Was this
Right.
So she's
Ashley
like,
or
"Oh, wait."
Mary-Kate? Or do you remember? Oh, yeah, it's okay. That's
It's
okay.
okay.
I think it was both of them, and they were like, "Oh, I like this. This is this collection, right? This is," and I was so impressed that she was
That's
really on it.
amazing. Yeah.
I was like, "Yeah," and then she said, "Oh, is this Cavalli? Is this on?" And I was like, "Wow. So I was really impressed. Here, I'll just take off this noise. I was so impressed that she was really, really loving doing fashion, and you know, she was on top of it. And the times in New York that I ran into them, it was always having something to do, like after fashion show or like, and they were always so nice. And they love this designer that's called Giambattista Valli, that he's a friend from Rome that I grew up with since I was a kid. He's a very famous designer, and he does, you know, these amazing couture dresses, and very, very, very melodramatic and very gorgeous and very feminine. And I think I was with him, and so they were super nice to me. They were always so nice, and I was like so impressed, really. And Giambattista was like, oh my God, Mary-Kate and Ashley. I'm like, wow, you know. So he was totally loving them, and he dressed them, and they were really good friends. So that was all. It was just like cool. I just felt cool.
That's
Incredible.
awesome.
I felt cool. I just felt cool being around them. You know?
Yeah.
You know?
Had you heard of them at all before you auditioned for it? Like, what was your impression of them?
I mean, I had seen some older shows like Full House a few times, but you know, I didn't realize how their first day. And I have a friend, when I said I was doing it, I said, oh my God, you're working with Mary-Kate and Ashley? They've been on the screen since day one. I'm like, what do you mean? I was like, what about privacy? What about, and they're like, no, every single moment they've been on screen. So it's really fascinating because, you know, how it's, you know, the internet and how things stay, and how it's really incredible how you see somebody change and move. But I also think there's a good side, but I also think there can be a bad side, because, you know, if you're always, everybody's in your face, it's kind of intimidating. You can kind of lose yourself.
Yeah,
absolutely.
And, you know, and people sometimes go after you, not for your love in your heart, for the wrong reasons. So there.
And that's something that we are kind of looking at a lot in this podcast too, is what a unique experience that they had growing up, like in the public eye, literally from day one, like you said.
Yeah.
So yeah, I can't imagine. And when you started working with them, they were really at like this height of this teen tween celebrity place. Like this is where Becca and I were like really like obsessed with everything about them.
My daughter is obsessed. I'm telling you.
Yeah.
She's watched.
She's much younger.
Yeah. How old is she?
Full House. She knows everything. She's behind me going, Mommy, Full House. And she's like, can you call them? I'm like, I don't have their number. I mean, I would on some phone if my phone's turned on, but they're like these old Motorola phones. So that's like 100 years ago.
So
but you know, they really, you know, they really was always there. But you know what's so great about America, and that's one of the best things that I love, is that you can do anything, and you can really grow making a business, because they did everything. What did they do? Kmart. They did products. They did this. Walmart. Sorry. They did everything. And I was so, you know, I grew up in Italy. I was born in America, but I grew up in Italy. So I was so fascinated as a woman to see young children that have done that. Obviously, they had a very good surrounding, but it was really interesting to see how many things they did with their life, and how they really transformed it, and how they continued in time. Because, you know, it's very easy that you get a one shot. That you get like you're a good looking kid, you know, a good looking something, and you're a good looking kid, and you have a one shot and then it's over. You see, they really they were consistent in time, and also they changed several careers. And that, I think, as being an artist, is very interesting.
Very inspiring.
To see different it's very inspiring for women, for younger women. I think it's really inspiring.
Yeah,
absolutely.
So what was the actual experience of filming Passport to Paris like? Like, so you got the audition, you got the call back, and then you got the part, and you were like excited, and then you had to go back to Europe where you had just like moved from California from.
Yeah.
Like, what was that like when you first got on set? What was the set like?
I was you know, when you do children, I mean, it's not children movies, but more like I've done like
teen,
more
tween.
intellectual, you know,
Right.
like, it's a very different way of acting. And also when you act in another language, it's different, you know. So I was really nervous, to tell you the truth.
Oh.
And then I got over it, you know, but I'm always nervous in the beginning. I always think they're gonna send me home. You know, I always think, oh, I'm not, because, you know, they would always pitch me like really young, and I was like, I'm not that young. But so I would always get really nervous that somebody would say, oh, we made a mistake, why don't you just leave?
Oh my God.
That's my answer.
I
But
feel
that's
that
my
way all the
answer.
time, honestly,
Yes.
about everything. I think
That's about being
so,
an artist. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was always my thing, that they would just say, oh, sorry, why don't you just fly back to LA? And I'd be like, oh, but no,
Oh my
no, no.
God.
But actually, no, it didn't. It went really well. And they were really, it was very, they were so professional.
Yeah.
They were so professional. They were so on it. They were so, and the people around them. And I think that also the parents, they did a really good job, because it's not the kids. It's also, then it becomes a business. It's not like we're having fun. Yes, we're having fun, but you have fun in a business way that's different, you know, that, you know, so I thought that was very interesting. And they were so on top of it.
Yeah.
You know, and they were very serious and very, because it's easy when you're a kid, you know, you want to go and have fun.
Yeah. Well, that's my question, is sort of, because this is their first feature film that's like straight to video during this time where they will then start to do a bunch after this. And this is their first credit as executive producers, which we both noticed and like cried a little because we love them so much. And how much did it seem like they were like involved or like having creative input into the actual film? And what was their actual like off-camera involvement?
They were actually really involved. You see, this is what is so impressive. As a kid growing up in Italy, you say, oh, I want to produce, people look at you and say, what are you talking about? You know, they would like, nobody, as a woman, as a child, nobody would give you credit. You know, when you hear stories about, you know, about these young girls that write to the president or write these stories in Europe or in Italy, you would never hear. So my perspective on it was that they were really on top of it. I was like, wow, they're so young and they're so like serious. You know, I also think that children should be children. Yeah. I mean, when they say I act, but I produce and I direct, I do documentaries that I sell on Netflix around the world. Apart from America and China, I basically covered the globe. So I do documentaries on women and that are fashion, but they're actually, if you come to see, I don't know Canada, I don't know, but no, not Canada, but however, so you know, it's as a woman you have to even work even harder. So to see them, it's really so inspiring for everyone, and it's been inspiring throughout the years. I mean, you see, even for my daughter, who's a different generation, but would I push her to say work, do this and not? You know, I mean, if you become successful as they were, yes, I would. I would like start jogging now.
Yeah.
But what you know, I mean, I think that you have to enjoy life, but you have to have both, because or else then you'll have problems further down the line, you know?
Yeah. Did they seem to be enjoying it? Like, I know they were super professional and impressive, but did they seem to love what they were doing?
Oh, definitely. And it was very real. And there was a real connection between them. Then once I started being more on set, I could recognize them. But at the beginning, I was like, wait, which one? You know, and no, they were really cool. They were like, every time I would run into them, like in LA at Chateau or something, they say, hey, Brigitte. I'm like, hey. They would always call me Brigitte. It's so funny. I went to Colombia. I was just in this, like, I don't know, I was in this place in the middle of nowhere, and these Colombian kids come up to me and they start going, Brigitte, Brigitte. I was like,
oh my
what?
God.
What? So yeah, so it's amazing how I had people that, like, the kids that knew exactly what I was saying, exactly the you know, my lines that I have, like, it's incredible. It's really amazing. And it's amazing how I think if something is done well, it lasts some time.
Yes.
Absolutely.
This movie is like one of those pieces though, because like even people who weren't like Mary-Kate and Ashley super fans, like still know this movie. Like this for like our generation of women, everyone knows this movie. And so everyone knows you. So it makes sense to me that they would say that.
That's so sweet.
Do people ever say attitude always, attitude to
attitude,
you?
attitude.
Did you improv that line?
We have so many questions about that sequence.
Yes.
Well, because we were in Saint-Germain and I was like, okay, what do I do? And I, so, it was very, and they told me, they said, just improvise. I know, you see me, I never stand still. The people that I work with is like, Yvonne, stand still. And, I can talk about really serious women and rights. Huh? And I'm like, so yes, I kind of do wiggle around. I walk straight, I like wiggle and all that. But they just said, just say some French words, say this, say that, and just pretend. And it was really fast. It was really fast and really, it was just fun. It was light and fun. And sometimes it's really, it's lovely to work on a set that the people are nice, that, they're professional, but nice, not like airheads, so it was very organized and we were in Paris. We were in Paris and it's like, hey, do you want to have a sushi? And we're like, I was just so happy. I was so happy because when you're an actor, you can do good movies, but you can do horrible movies.
Of course.
So, I've done all kinds of stuff, and now living and having a daughter by myself, I'm in Italy. I didn't want to wait because when you're an actor, you have to wait. It's not like America that there's 100,000. There's an industry. In Europe and Italy, it's smaller. Yeah. So that's why I started directing my documentaries on women, and I tell there's fashions. There's Missoni that she loved. Rosita Missoni is the creator of the Missoni group, is in one of my films. So, hey, I should send her the link. She would actually really enjoy that.
Yes, you should.
That's so cool.
I should send her a link. But, and then they passed on to fashion. That's incredible.
I know. I mean,
I have a dress that I bought that's beautiful. It's really simple. Oh, I should have worn that. I didn't think about that. I have it's green.
You look great.
It was really expensive. It was really expensive though, but I bought it on super sale.
Cool. Was it from their collection or?
Yes, it was like
the row.
It was a collection, the row.
Yeah.
And I didn't know it was her. And I said, wow, this is the fabric. It's a green. I wore it on the red carpet at the Rome Film Festival. They had sent me dresses and I was like, no. I was like, I just want something really simple. And it's very simple. And the back, you turn around, it's like completely naked, the back, but it's very elegant. It's not like shishi. It's very, very green, very, very simple with sandals. It's gorgeous.
Oh my God.
So she's really talented, talented.
We're going to have to find a picture of that dress and put
it yes, you'll find it. It's online. It's all over.
Oh, amazing. Yes, we'll definitely share that.
Show, red carpet, green dress. It'll come out.
Absolutely.
Can we actually ask you about that, the attitude always, that sequence? The shopping montage is so iconic in Passport to Paris. And we were wondering, I don't know if you remember, but it was like all filmed outside, basically, like outside of all the shops. And we've just always wondered,
why didn't you go inside the shops?
Yeah.
Oh, why don't we go inside the shops? Well, because you know what happened? We just went on these little les rues, as like the French call, like Peter said, les rues, in Saint-Germain. And we just had these little streets. And so I said, okay, just that we had a smaller troop. And so they just said, okay, just let's walk and go in. And I think the women inside, there was a problem to shoot inside. That we walked in, but I think aesthetically and also the light, it was just prettier to shoot like outside.
Okay.
Because they had to go in. So I think they never edited it, because I remember we would walk in, but then it was more like, hey, let's go.
Yeah.
Or maybe they didn't give them to the store. You know the French.
Right.
Yeah. Well, there were a lot of different stores I noticed. And so, yeah.
That's amazing.
But I love, I mean, it was really fun. And actually there were some French actors too. So it was great. It was really so much fun. I never know the budget. Was it a big budget? I don't
know, actually.
It's kind of hard to find the numbers of these things online. Like it's really pretty, I think because they have moved on. So I was going to say aggressively, but like intentionally is a better word. I think finding like the really specific, like word, like numbers and everything. And even finding the material itself can be pretty hard to find. Like Passport to Paris is Passport is an exception. Like you can find that, you can rent that pretty much on every platform.
Yeah.
Yes, because that is a cultural phenomenon. But like things like Holiday in the Sun, like which is also a very big movie.
Wow. Okay.
But like those can be like pretty hard to find. Like I'm on their IMDb page right now, and I don't know. I don't see any numbers, which is wild.
That's strange because it had really high numbers. I mean, that movie had been seen by so many. And I think also the thing that in Paris and France, La Tour Eiffel and the French, there was so many, France, Paris, you think of romance, you think of, La Ville Lumière, you feel it's really, it's so beautiful. It's so glamorous. It's so special, and they really captured that. So I think that was a smart thing to do. They're very smart. My daughter's yes, she's the hugest fan. I would be an actress. No way. Okay.
How old is your daughter?
My daughter's 13.
Okay. So she's basically the exact same age that they were in this.
13.
Yeah.
Were they that young?
Yeah,
I think they were supposed to be 12. They were 12 going on 13. Wow. I know, it's nuts because we were younger, a little, like a year or two younger. So they just seemed like these like cool teens gallivanting around Paris, but rewatching it, it's just like, oh, they're little kids.
Right.
But they're still so cool. And
they're so cool.
Yeah.
So what do they do? So they didn't want to act anymore? No.
Well, it's a little bit like, it's kind of complicated. Like I think Ashley really decided not to do movies anymore after they did their final New York Minute, and Mary-Kate kept auditioning for a little while, but they were also starting their fashion around that same time. And I think Ashley was really focused on like growing the row and all of that stuff. And like Mary-Kate just kind of like pivoted away. Like she did a couple projects, but then decided to just go into the fashion because it was doing really well. And I think, like you mentioned, I think that's where their passion kind of really was in a lot of that way.
Well, I'll tell you that I was really impressed because, being so young, it would be very rare that a kid in Italy being so young would say, oh my God, this.
Yeah.
It was just a different approach. And so, but we spoke about fashion. I was like, wow, because, I like to ask, I'm curious. So I was like, wow, do you know them? Also being Italian, I like it, that you talk about Italian designers, Italian fashion, and you don't talk about like mafia and, that kind of stuff. So I was so happy. I was like, yes, you know them. And I was like, Cavalli, I know them really well. I'm really good friends with Eva, and I told them all these stories and they were fascinated. It's like, oh my God, really? I was like, I'll introduce you. So, I'm sure that after, like, I was like, the Missoni, I know. I said, because my mother used to be a journalist. So when I was very, very young, as like a kid, she would write fashion and she would write about Missoni, Armani. She would write all about those designers that started in those years. So I grew up, reading fashion and reading, knowing all these people since I was very, very young. So I told her these stories and she was like, oh my God, that's so cool. I said, well, I would do my drawings, when I was a kid on the Missoni press releases, they in fashion shows, they would give you these things that you would sit down and they would, so they would put the pictures of the models and the clothes. And so I was telling her these stories and she's like, oh wow. So
you could have been a part.
They were really,
you really could have been a part of like their building their obsession. I wish I was.
Yeah, you might have been. Yeah.
12 is a very impressionable age. And to meet like someone like you, like an international actress and model, and like to be like, you are so connected. I mean, I'm just saying as like, if I was in that experience,
I bought her dress on discount. I bought her dress on a discount. So that was great.
That's
that was
amazing. You guys really did, like,
nice.
if the film is any indication, it seemed like there was like a connection between you and them. You have like a really beautiful, like, big sister energy with them that feels like, yeah, it was.
Thank you. You're so sweet. You made my night.
Oh,
Thank you so much. You're so sweet.
I want to know how, like, after the project was over, and now, 20 years later, how has being in this film impacted your life? You said people in like Colombia come up to you, but are there any other ways this film has really impacted you?
I mean, it didn't really change. Honestly, I would have loved to do kids movie. I did Boy Meets World. I did like a whole bunch of kids movies.
You were also
But
French
then
in
I
that.
did, yeah, I was always French. And it's so funny because when I arrived to LA, saying, oh, there's this Italian girl, she's like famous in her country, whatever, nah? But they think Italian, they think you look like Mexican or you're dark and I look Irish.
Right.
So they would have me audition for things that they would never take me. And I'd be like, okay, well, this is not happening.
Uh-huh.
But I would always have to come back to Italy because I had stuff to do and stuff. I don't know. I mean, it made a difference, yes, because it was a great kids movie that was sold all around the world. So that's incredible. I mean, for me, I was already so happy. But, did I get all these parts for kids movies for Touchstone or Warner Brothers? No, I didn't. But, that's okay. That's okay. It gives you exposure. And then you never know. I mean, there's so many things already to be recognizable in so many countries, thanks to America. I think it's incredible.
You keep bringing up your documentaries that you've been working on and being a producer and all of the projects that you're working on. And I really do want to hear more about the work that you're doing now.
Yeah, the first one is the Eye of Yves Saint Laurent. She was the first backstage, and so I have Armani, I have the fashion world, I have Jeremy Scott, I have Paris Hilton, I have Heidi Klum. I interviewed all these people, and it's a story of a lifetime because yes, and so I presented it in Venice with Italian Vanity Fair. I did something completely different. I think as a woman, with them in their case, it's very interesting to do things that people don't expect you to do. I mean, they expect you to be like, oh, pretty, and you look at a nice dress, like, yeah, whatever, great. So it was very inspiring, but also because I met, young children, not young women like them, that to have me see that you can produce, that you can direct, that you can sell, that you can tell your dreams, your stories. And also I was bored of waiting. Being an actress and not being able, having a child, not being able to travel as much as I used to. It gave me a spin on life that I didn't have to wait for anyone. I didn't have to wait for that phone call. I didn't have to wait for the agent. I didn't have to wait for anyone. I could do my thing and tell what I wanted to, stories I wanted to tell, and also stories of women who inspired me. This photographer, she had taken pictures of me since I was 12 years old.
Wow.
For a German Vogue. So that was the first time. And so it was, evolution of my life, of my ups, of my downs, when I was really miserable, when I was really unhappy and I was really a mess, but also good things and bad things. So I just wanted to tell her life. And so I did that. And that did like amazingly well. I got prizes. I sold it everywhere. I mean, I have people who write to me on Instagram and from Greece. And I'm like, what? And I was like, and they're like, and my name is called Shaw, so nobody can say it, and it's and they write they send me these videos. I had a woman in her kitchen in Iceland. I was like, wow, where is Iceland? I'm like, I had never been, and so it was so you really realize that there's no boundaries, and also with the new technology. I mean, you can sit in your living room and you can see Amazon, you can see documentaries and films and things from all over the world. It's really interesting, or Netflix, or whatever. So it's so inspiring, and it's always an evolution. And then my second film was on the story of 7 women. So there's a Catholic, there's a Muslim, there's a Jewish. I think the religion has no boundaries. So I tell stories of women. Patricia Fields, she's in Sex and she was a
I love her.
Patricia waiting, hi, Yvonne Scio. She was like,
Becca's a huge Sex and the City fan.
Huge.
Patricia, that's amazing. She's so smart, she's so charismatic, and she said really smart things. So I have all these completely different characters, different kinds of women that tell their stories in completely different contexts and different worlds. So it's really interesting for me, being a woman, seeing my career and stuff, you know, just how it has evolved and how it continues to evolve itself.
Yeah, that's so amazing. That's so impressive. And
Thanks.
you honestly remind me a lot of Brigitte, because
Yes.
she was like,
Truly.
she was this like beautiful, glamorous supermodel who also had like so much ambition and like very accomplished. And yeah.
I don't know. I always feel that I'm not accomplished at all. I always think, you know, like running here, running there, but I kind of try to, I do actually do get it together. But, you know, you always try. I think as a woman, you always try to do your best. So.
I think so. And I think, I mean, that also, and what you said about like thinking that you were going to be like sent home or something, I think that is such a common feeling, especially among women, of like, you are so successful, you're so smart, you're so driven, you deserve to be there like more than anyone. And you still think that they're going to like,
so sweet. Try to
find
grow
out
up in
that
Italy. But it's really, so I'm so happy that I had the experience there, and I feel I'm so lucky. And who knows, I did this show now that we're in talks. So, you know, who knows, you know, life is always in an evolution, and things change, and who knows, I hope to be back in America and do great stuff, you know, because, you know, it really, and meet them. Maybe I'll.
Oh my God. I can't imagine that they would be so thrilled to see you again. I mean, I'm not them. I can't speak for them, but like the fact that I'm picturing 12-year-old Mary-Kate and Ashley, like telling you about like the pieces that you're wearing and you being impressed with them, and then telling them about like how you're friends with the designers and them melting and being completely inspired by you. Like, you don't forget that as a 12-year-old, like even if they are trying to be very like untouchable right now and very private, I can't imagine they wouldn't be thrilled to see you.
Who knows?
I think they would be.
But you never know. You never know.
You never know.
In Italian, they say le strade del Signore sono infinite. That means how do you say le strade? Come si dice, amore? The streets towards Jesus, towards God, towards the universe. So you are so many. You never know.
Yeah.
Who knows?
I love that.
But you know what I was looking for? But I've like moved in LA, and then here, and then the house, and I had all these pictures on set with them. But I was rushing because I was in production, because I'm in production with this thing. So my show. So I was like rushing to find, I wanted to find these pictures on set and me with them, and like the hair people and the makeup people. You know who was great? The hair and makeup people. They were really cool.
Oh, I mean, the way that everyone was styled in this film was
they were really
incredible.
Cool. She was a young girl. She was a super young girl. And she was doing all the clothes, all the stuff, and she was amazing.
Find her.
That's really, that's what you guys should find. I mean, maybe now she's not that young, but back then she's just really cool.
That's amazing.
We should look into that. I mean, that's great.
Like the hair and makeup, they were like a whole bunch of like really nice young girls.
Yeah, that's so cool.
Like really cool.
If you find those pictures, let us know.
Please do.
I also, because I have bags. I don't know if I mean, I was like, but there were so many. I was like running my dough to the groceries, this and that. Well, you know, so all that.
We're posting this episode next Tuesday. So
so will you write to me on Instagram and I'll post it or something?
Yeah, for sure. But also if you have the photos that you can go through and want to send them before that would be like
that would
a dream.
I don't know if I will find them because it was a lot.
Yeah,
that's one of the places I was and where all the pictures was. So hopefully they weren't there. So I don't know. I won't guarantee, but I'll definitely write to you.
Great,
but
thank you.
I'm so happy that we chatted. You had like you made me feel so special.
Oh, but you are so
you're so amazing. This is such a dream for us. No, we are. Can you just remind us how to say your last name? Because we're gonna do a separate intro.
Okay, that's okay. Yvonne Scio.
Okay.
Yes.
Great.
It's so funny because I would audition and there's like Yvonne Scio or Yvonne Chow. And I'm like, okay. So it's so fun. I'm like, change your name. I like friend Joshua, sweetie, Ivanovich. I can't understand your name, sweetie. That's amazing. Change people.
Oh my God.
She's the best. I have so many wonderful, inspiring women. I've been so lucky.
Oh,
Really
make a
am
documentary
so
about
lucky.
all of them, please, and let us
Yeah.
know where we can find your work.
Fran Drescher is in Fran. She's in my first film and she's in my second film.
Cool.
Both
That's
of them. I
awesome.
love her. I love her. She's the best woman. She's the head of SAG now, Screen Actors Guild.
She's the head of
Oh,
it.
cool. I didn't know that. That's awesome.
She's such a smart, amazing, special, good woman. I'm very
Wow.
lucky. I have lovely girlfriends that are such good-hearted and supportive and lovely women. I've been very lucky. You know, when they always say like between women they hate each other, I'm like, oh, it's not true.
No, I don't think that's true.
People
I
like
think
to make it
that's-
happen.
That's just a narrative that men created when they don't
Yeah.
understand how women are.
Yeah, that's true.
Well, thank you so much for doing
Thank
this.
you so much. Thank you.
This was a dream come true.
Thank
us.
you. Thank you. You made my night. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank
Made
you.
ours.
Bye.
Ciao.
So my daughter says bye.
Bye. We say bye. We love her.
Ciao.
Hi.
Hi.
How are you feeling?
Like, that was a whirlwind.
Yeah.
I
She's so cool.
She's the coolest. She is like Brigitte. She actually is.
She's literally Brigitte.
Yes. No wonder everyone calls her Brigitte still. Like,
Right. She's literally Brigitte.
yes.
I just wanted to be like a supermodel and a scholar. You're a very impressive person, Brigitte.
You should.
I didn't want to creep her out.
Oh, she would have loved it.
Oh my God. She's so cool.
So warm, so kind, so
glamorous, so smart. Oh my God. She's
she
so
looks
awesome.
Amazing.
Amazing.
I can't. I'm besides myself.